Hey, what's up, Skywalker Bear with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday, September 6th, 2024, and it's a lovely afternoon here in Texas. We have what we call our pre-fall, which is just like a coming attractions of what's to come. We have that going on right now, so the weather is quite lovely out here, but that's not why we're here. You know why we're here? Well, I mean, no, like, you know why we're here, but I mean, the reason that we're here is because we're live, and am I live? There's literally no one watching. Are we playing this game again? That says we're live. Okay, there's the people. There we go. Man, it just every time I try to do one of these. This time it wasn't audio. We got audios. I've worked through that continuous crisis. No, it's Facebook. Facebook decided, well, you saw it last week. It was like, yeah, you're not going to get to interact with anybody over there on Facebook. They don't matter. And what? What do you mean? And I wonder, am I even live? Let's see. How do I even know? It says I'm online, live video. Please take a moment. Let's see. Am I... Go live? Am I live? It's not live? I have to literally click go live? Really? Go live to start the event. I did go live. Wow. Okay, so we're doing this again. It says I'm live on Facebook. Man, what is this? Go live to create the event. I am live. I don't know, if anybody's on Facebook, let me know if it's live, because I don't see it live. But that's just fantastic. But Brandon Talbot says, I'm here for it. Cool. And Tyler's here. Rex says hello, and then Oakley's over there, as he always just kind of just sits to the side. And we've got Sight Unseen says I'm live. But why is Facebook? I mean, I literally had to detach everything. It says I'm live on Facebook. Okay, well, that's cool. Well, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that, because that's just, story of my life. So we are 2 minutes. That should be live. Let's see if that's live. Yep, that one's live. We're gonna pause that because I don't need to see it. Okay, so we're all here. We're all in good places. We're all in happy world. So let's see. Oh, look at that, Mr. Ollie. Good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're doing well in across the pond, as they say. Glad to see you back. Hello, Mr. Chancellor. How are you, buddy? Hope you're doing good. Hey, you never answered my text. Inquiring minds want to know. I know you're busy. I know you're busy. Yeah, this weekend is the premiere, the worldwide premiere, I think tomorrow night, at the Toronto International Film Festival of IC, which is the Joseph Kahn feature that I worked on, and many other people worked on, like Chancellor, the editor, who's amazing. And yeah, that goes tomorrow night. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say about it, because it's going to be something. It's going to be something. If anybody is on Facebook, leave a comment or question or anything, just so I can see if it shows up here, because I bet it doesn't. And we'll just have to figure that one out. Let's go here. Yeah, Mr. Ollie is back, and I'm very pleased about that. How is it in Texas? 103 here. Well, it is not that hot here. It is, no, that ain't right. Let's refresh. 88.4 degrees today. That's right, 88.4 for your afternoon drive home. But tonight it's going to be cooling off, hitting around 75. And then tomorrow a cool front blows in, and we're going to have a high of around 81 with a low around 60. Now, the cool thing about where I live, if it says a low of 60, that means about 56 for us. 56 to 58. So, yeah, not unhappy at all. I enjoy the the wonderful pre-fall, as they call it. Because it's funny because like everybody was saying this morning, oh, the leaves are falling. Yeah, it's not falling because of fall. It's pre-fall, which is it's been so hot and dry that the leaves are like, ugh, they just fall off because the trees are, promoting acorns. Evening of the good indeed. Justin says, been away for a bit, back for the discussion today. Yes, Justin, it is a good discussion. We will definitely be hitting all angles of the whole red announcement thing. Fairless Index, hi Scott, which wine are you drinking? California or Chilean? It is a California for sure. It is a Alamedan. It's a box wine, one of the best. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. Louis, I haven't seen you in such a while. Why is Louis confused? Why? Why should you be confused? Jaspal, hello. Why is there a moon? Why isn't there a moon? So the reason that there's a moon, Louis, is because they believe at one point a giant asteroid hit the Earth so hard that it ejected out a moon. That's why we have it. I'm sure that was your question. Hi, everybody. Hello, Cognition. Hello, Scott and Fred. Oops, skipped to Scott Warren. Hello, the fellow Scott. Huge fan, sir. Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I'm a huge fan of yours, too. Any Scott of mine is a Scott of your, any Scott, yeah, that joke. Why does the price cut mean for the used market? Is it discounted on Facebook Marketplace, too? Well, it sure would be. We'll get to that here in just a second. You are live on Facebook. No problem. Cool. It is now time to buy red, or do we buy something? Oh, that's a good question, too. We will definitely hit that, as well as have many discussions of many different ways. Can't wait to watch Ick and brag that I know the and I might be in there. I might be in there somewhere in the in the movie. You might see my face once or twice. Maybe. Wait, the stream has far less beard. It does, Phil, and thank you for noticing. It's rather funny, mostly because you don't interact with me every single day. That's pretty close. But people that interact with you every day and have seen you with a long beard and a short beard and no beard, they don't actually notice when things change because you are recognized by them. And so it's funny. Cynthia didn't notice it for like 5 hours until I said something. And she's like, oh, and I did it for her because she literally comes to me every day and she's like, I don't like it. I don't like it long. My daughter has not noticed yet. It's been 2 days. Wow, that was a beautiful looking moon you got. That is a photo I shot just right over here. It's kind of nice. Carlos Quintero, howdy. Hello, Carlos. And thank you for giving that southwestern howdy. I appreciate that. Phil Holland just noticed this as well. Scott, how was your summer? Did you smoke any meat? I did smoke some meat. We smoked some turkey. We just, the last thing I smoked was turkey, and we made turkey pot pies with half of it. That was amazing. How is the missus? She doing good? She is doing very good. She's up in the other building upstairs doing some things. Santa unconfirmed. That's correct. Santa incognito. Indeed. Yeah, I still see no comments from Facebook, which I find really irritating. Not that I deserve comments from Facebook. It says I'm live, so I'll take that. But if you are on Facebook and you are asking questions and you're not getting answers, please pop over to my YouTube and ask them there because I don't know what the deal is there. And of course, if you're on Instagram and you're tuning in, like the both of you, feel free to ask any questions. I do periodically look over there to see them. Yum. Carlos is here. Yes, he is. Okay, I will sit tight and listen to your wisdom. I don't know about wisdom. It's a discussion. Hey, Brandon, thank you. Thank you. Brandon's always in there for the double check for me. Double check. We've got Ollie on comments. We got Brandon on the double check, and then somebody does audio all the time. When I had audio, I don't have those anymore. Knock on wood, because I test all the time. Ruben says bonjour. Bonjour. Well, thank you, Brandon. So let's get into the meat of it, and feel free to put your thoughts and your comments and, what you think and what you have heard and all those things in the comments, because, it's, you could be right, you could be wrong, you could be something that we have not heard before. So don't feel like you have to not say anything. In my native language, I can't say that one. Just Paul says, "What's the name of your furry friend?" That is Rex. That's Rex the Wonder Dog, and he's my studio pal. He's my pal mate. He is alive. Rex, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Nope. That's all you get. Just, ooh, you say hi, buddy? No, no. Nope. You don't want to say hi? Okay. All right. Fair enough. You go back to sleep. He's everywhere that I am, as a good boy is. He just is an awesome dude. Hit the like button. Well, thank you, Justin. Nice to meet Rex. Yes, everybody Rex has his own camera specifically because literally everybody just comes here for him, not really me. He wants his sleep. He does like his sleep. So the Red Cuts came out first of this week, and it slapped a lot of people upside their head. Some people were like, "Oh, Red's up to their old tactics again." Or I've also heard, "Oh, Red's going out of business, and they have to quickly make a buck so that Nikon can show it on their paperwork." I've also heard, oh, they're clearing out the inventory so that they can bring out the new Z-mount cameras and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be happy to address everything that I know and everything that I speculate, and all of that. So I've known about this for quite a long time, actually, many weeks. If you go back through the live streams, I tried my best to hint at it, but I'm a good boy, and when I'm promised a secrecy, I don't break the secrecy. So I kept saying, there's going to be a camera within reach really soon. There's going to be some eye-opening things that change, and cameras that people didn't think about before are going to be thought about again. And I've said those kind of things. So yeah, I knew it was coming. And the number one reason that they're doing it is to compete with the Canon C400. It's not about clearing shelves. It's not about clearing inventory. It's not about a last-ditch profit. And there's lots of reasons that they can do it. And we'll go into that as well. It's for those who don't know, the Komodo has dropped from $59,995 to $49,995. So $5,000 for a Komodo. Komodo X has dropped $3,000 to $69,995, which is phenomenal. So $7,000, you can get a Komodo X. It's literally to do with the C400. The C400 is coming. It's not actually out. I mean, there's a few of them out there. It's in the hands of some people, and it's going to be a good camera. And people say, well, wait, that's not a C400. The Komodo X and the C400, they're not the same camera. You're right. They're not. However, if you're looking at a C400, the chances are very, very good that you're also considering a Komodo X. You're also considering an FX6. You're considering many different cameras all in that area. Now, one thing that Canon will have, the C400 over the Komodo X, is it's full frame. And it's going to have better autofocus. But one thing that Komodo is going to have is phenomenal RAW, compressed RAW. It's going to have phenomenal audio built in. It's exceptionally compact, and it has really high quality frame rates, variability, all kinds of good things for Komodo X. So when it comes to it, you're gonna compare those two. They are comparable, but they don't necessarily, if one fits, the other one fits, because let's say the most critical thing you have is power on time. Well, you're probably going to choose the C400 over the Komodo X if that's the very first most critical thing. If the most critical thing is image, you're probably going to choose the Komodo X. If compactness is something, you're going to choose the Komodo X. If frame rates are the thing, you're probably going to choose Komodo X. If full frame sensor is something you have to have, you're going to choose the C400. So saying that they're not the same, they're in the same class. And before, it was a 70, how much is a C400? $79.99, $7,500, somewhere around there, under $8,000. And then Komodo's at $10,000. Now it's $7,000 to whatever the C400, 75, what is it, 75, 76, whatever, something like that. Can't remember. So that is numero uno, the reason. And then why you bring Komodo down? Well, because if you bring Komodo X down to 7 and you charge Komodo at 6, there doesn't seem to be much value for the Komodo. Now, why can they do this? And it's a good question. Why wouldn't Red do it before? And the answer is actually simpler than you think. When Red was a standalone company, everything that they put into R&D, they had to get back out. So if the camera, let's say the Komodo X cost them $5,000 to manufacture, but it costs them millions and millions of dollars to develop, they have to increase that price to cover what they spent on R&D and then add profit on top of there. When a company like Nikon buys them, they're huge. They have an extraordinary amount of cash basically sitting around. They could look at how much the R&D was for Komodo and Komodo X and say, we're not worried about that. You have margin. We're not worried about you recouping because you're not a standalone company. Red was Red. They made their money on how they sold cameras. So everything they put in, they had to get back out plus make money. Nikon, well, this is a bigger play with Nikon. So they can push that to the side, use those margins, and discount the cameras. The comments about, oh, well, there's a Nikon Z or a Red Z or Komodo Z coming out soon. There will be. Who knows what it'll be called? I mean, Komodo Z seems to be an awesome fit. And a Komodo ZX, that sounds kind of cool. But that's not coming for 18 to 22 months. Somewhere in there. I'm going to say 20 months. That's how far that is away. It takes a long time to do that. And you're not going to just put a Z mount on a Komodo. You're going to refresh it. You're not going to just put a Z mount on Komodo X. You're going to refresh it. But you're not going to just destroy the Komodo X. It just came out a year ago. There's a whole life cycle for Komodo X out there. And that will be not ignored. Let's get into some comments here and see what I've got. Hey, Scott, Keepacity. I don't know. What's up, Scott? Brandon question. Have you liked your breakthrough VND system? The 1 to 5 to 11 stops, are they all usable? They are all 100% completely usable. There is no X pattern on the breakthroughs. They are phenomenal, and I literally just picked it up because I didn't have a lens cap on it. It was right here, and because I will be burning this here, I didn't want it to fall in there. I'll just grab it. Fantastic. This one is the PL version here, but these are truly phenomenal VNDs. Very clean. I mean, virtually zero color shift. There's a slight shift overall, but it's honestly, it's almost not worth mentioning, except that, you know, it exists. It is a thing. Also, I have the dark, and it is also really good, very usable, and used for getting to dangerously bright things. That's very good. I really, really like Breakthrough. They are a good company. They had some struggles early on, not with filter design, not with anything, but just entering the cinema market. Those struggles, they're long gone. There's no outstanding orders sitting out there on back order, other than, I mean, there could be some daily back order kind of things, but everybody has gotten their mount. If they haven't, then they just haven't asked, because they went through everywhere and cleared them all out. So really good, solid stuff. If you're doing just the little Canon drop-ins, those are really affordable. If you're doing the PL, their Breakthrough is the big mount PL is really cool. Tyler says, do you or anyone in the chat have experience with the FTZ2 adapter and third-party F-mount lenses? Wondering if they lag compared to direct connection to DSLR F-body. I don't have it because I don't have any of those lenses, but I would imagine somebody in the chat probably does. I have been testing an EF version that works really, really well. What an awesome month. First, the Chase Bank glitch, now the price drop. Hey, did you get you some of that Chase Bank money there, Ollie? That one was kind of wild. And I'm like really shocked that people thought that the glitch wasn't tied to their account somehow. There's lots of people that are going to be getting a little meat from, the police. I have Tamron F-mount lenses. Interesting. So I don't know. Yeah, somebody would have to comment on that if they know. Came home Tuesday at 12 p.m. and saw the Komodo X cuts. Yep, indeed. Roman, do you think the rest of the market will go down as well? I don't. I think Canon is reset their pricing to match where the market is, and I think the rest of the market will as well. I think we're still going to, if you notice, it's just Komodo and Komodo X. Nothing in V-Raptor, and I mean nothing in V-Raptor has been touched. The pricing is still the same. Why? Because there's not one thing on the market that can compete with it. Any of them. Not one thing. So, yeah, I don't think I honestly believe Burano is going to get some kind of price cut at some point, because I think they're hurting on that one, because it was doing really well, but it just wasn't doing really well. And I think it's a little pricey. Let's see here. Hello, I added English to my phone keyboard. Way better. The FTZ is pretty great, Scott says. Just switched to the Z9, and my older F lenses work like 95% native lenses compared to my S primes. That's awesome. And those old F mount lenses weren't exactly the fastest, although they were not bad. But just the way they were designed was rather interesting, especially the older ones. Those were hilarious. Red might be making room for the V-Raptor Super 35X. I wonder. I don't think they're making room per se, because it would fit in between Super 35 V-Raptor and VistaVision. The question is, how many people are asking for it? And whether it comes to light is really about that. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Awesome, thanks for the input. There you go. Well, the other layer is pretty much every camera released by any company gets price drops at certain points after release. Could be a year, could be two, etc. This is true. And Red is no stranger to that. When they did DSMC 2 Unified, they dropped all the prices across the board. They've dropped prices from DSMC 1 to 2, and then they raised them, but then they turn around and drop those back down. Yeah, it's common. Komodo X is a great deal for a full-blown production camera. It is, indeed. And it is an all-in-one. It is an all-in-one beauty. This little sucker can do wonders, and it's everything on top. And the thing that's to me is the best thing ever. Dropping it to 7,000 means that you can spend 10 and get the DSM-C3 touch monitor. And there's so many people that are like, I don't like that monitor because it can't do this and that. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. I've paid $3,000 for Red monitors in the past, and they worked, and I got used to them, and they were fine, but they were never great. These are small HD monitors. The only difference is you don't get the SDI inputs. However, you don't use an SDI input or an output, which means you have your SDI free for other things, anything you need, because it's not taking one up. And I find that very useful. Tempting, but nah. If the RF glass was fully functional, maybe. RF glass is tough. And it's the problem I have when you're playing with glass that isn't perfect. I also am not a fan of fly-by-wire, but this is the GDU version of the 16 millimeter Canon, but you have to map stuff. You have to let's go ahead and put this on here because you have to map these lenses out. I'm gonna crank up that exhaust. You have to map the lenses for what they do. You have to map any of their issues that they might have, like vignetting, which may occur on the 24 to 105, or say that's 28 to 70 f2 when it's not technically f2 all the way through. It actually goes up. You have to map that and make it work. And thus, like a friend was saying that he bought the new Sigma lenses and they didn't work on Komodo because, well, they're not mapped. And that's kind of a pain in the butt. And I think it's going to be a big pain in the butt in the future because if you buy a used camera down the line, let's say 10 years down the line, and there's somebody still making RF lenses, that used camera is no longer going to work. Well, it's no longer going to work with any new lenses that need to be mapped. It's kind of like, what do you do with a PlayStation 5 if they shut down the PlayStation Store? You can't do anything. You can't load any games on it. You can't do anything. Same kind of problem, and I'm not a fan of that, honestly. I'll take the Komodo X's. I'm heading back to the VizDev illustration in a year. Finally, artists are getting back from judges regarding AI, right? After all is said and done, what is your recommendation? Well, I don't recommend people buy something that I say. I've always been that way. I will tell you what I like, and I will tell you what appeals to me. And I don't know why this thing wants to fall apart now. It's so weird. To me, the Komodo is a great entry point into Red, but now the price difference is so. It's kind of so close, and what you're getting for that price difference, to me, it's Komodo X. Komodo X to me has a much higher value, but that's to me. Now, I use Komodo. That's Komodo right there, and I will be using it next week on a job with Komodo X. It is the perfect pair. Yeah, it just depends. Rumen says, still can't decide if the C400 or the KX for my use case. Komodo has the better image. C400 has more useful features for me, but that KX image though. Well, what are those useful features? If it's autofocus and it's eye tracking autofocus, that kind of thing, then I can see where C400 could benefit. If it is general focus, I actually don't dislike the Komodo X at all for that. It actually has fairly reasonable autofocus. It is not a Sony and it is not a Canon, but I'm telling you, when I was out in nature, it 95% of the time had the animal that I wanted in focus. It's totally cool. Stuff call. You won't lose either way, but nice. It's true. You won't. As long as you make a decision and you stick by it. Don't second guess yourself all the time and go, well, I wish I would have, make a decision. Asking to ask, but I couldn't help but notice Jared took particular delight in mentioning how powerful the ASIC inside the Z9 is. Could this be taken as a hint for internal red code at some point? I don't know. I have to be very careful now. I have contractual security obligations at this particular point. And so there's things I just can't say. Going back to that comment as it was said, yeah, I believe that's exactly what he was alluding was possible. Also, what I think was most interesting to Jared and the engineers was how powerful their ASIC was for the size and for the power consumption, which to me means that I put my... That's funny. To me means if they really got down and dirty, they could potentially make a smaller Komodo, maybe even a more powerful smaller Komodo. That's what intrigued him, and from the things that he was saying. Now, if you notice, he's not saying anything anymore. He can't because he's under NDA, and it's a publicly traded company, so you can't break those. So I believe in my brain that there's no physical limitation that I'm aware of as to bring red code to a Nikon ASIC. But I don't have all of that information in there. And it could be the other way. I don't know why. I have firm beliefs that red code is more well known in the industry and thus should be considered the better choice. But I mean, it's Nikon. Nikon owns them. They're going to do what they're going to do. Another big plus for the Komodo is the anamorphic support, but yet none of the cameras have 3 or 4/3 sensors. It's true they don't, but they're a little bit bigger than Super 35 sensors. So they, for the most part, can fill a Super 35 anamorphic. You do get a lot of options, well, many more options on Komodo X. I mean, I think C400 has some tricks up its sleeve in that regard as well. Red code. Carlos says 8K for the C400. Got it. Yep. $79.95. Like the cars were priced in the 2000s. Lewis, I'm sure that's why it's such a difficult choice. I can't decide which features are more important. With the C400, I can also drop it to 4K for smaller files and crop to Super 35. It's true, but Ruben, you can also just drop to lower resolution on the red. Well, you could drop to lower resolution. Yes, that's not what I meant to say, but that would involve cropping. But you could drop to a lower or higher compression, which will be smaller file sizes. And except when you're talking about H.265, the file sizes are probably going to be pretty similar. Just on red, don't drop to ProRes. Just don't. Just don't. The strategy also allows Nikon to gain market share and add users to the brand. And it's clear they're not messing around here because they have a lot of irons in the fire right now, and they're working on them all. with their lens plant. There was something I had read about a cinema lens that was, I don't know if it was like ready to go. It was like on one of the rumor sites. That's kind of amazing. I find it so funny how the ex-Red fanboys are insufferable. They just can't stop whining and hating on Red as if Red was her girlfriend. You know, I mean, I loved Red, and I love Red. And I really am enjoying Nikon right now. I think Nikon is doing some cool stuff. People have called me a Red fanboy, and that's fine. If that's what you want to think, I am camera agnostic. I own a lot of different cameras. I just happen to use and own Reds for my primary shooting purpose because it matches my primary shooting purpose so perfectly, and it always has. Sure, others could match it as well, but not for the money. I mean, it was a win-win. The whole Nikon thing has brought out a lot of bad attitudes when it comes to Red. It brought out all the same old negative people who were saying negative things all the time. They, of course, came out of the woodwork and were like, oh, yeah, it's the end of Red, you can tell. And it's not. And it brought out some new people who are scared to death. And then there's people who are scared for a good reason that they don't understand. Before they had a Jared Land who would get out there and, connect. And now you have a publicly traded company who can't do it like that. They just can't. And, we all loved it, but we have to get used to it. And people are like, they need to come out and tell us what they're going to do. They can't. Nikon is publicly traded. You cannot leak information. You can't put out a roadmap unless it is designed to be public. If it's designed to be public, then it's designed to be traded on. And if it's designed to be traded on, it can't just be a pipe dream. That brings in you can't say, we're planning on a 32K sensor that will draw 1 watt of power in a watch. That's what we're planning on. You can't say that, because if you don't actually have plans to get there, then you are manipulating stock price. It's a problem. So they take that stuff very seriously. The price is unbelievable value, honestly. I agree. I think the Komodo has always been a great entry point, and there was enough of a jump between Komodo and Komodo X to, for a lot of people to jump to the Komodo. But now, dropping $7,000 on a camera is, I mean, you buy an R5 Mark II, you're $4,300 right off the bat. I mean, you're almost to a Komodo. Now, one of them shoots 8K. The other one can shoot 24 frames a second if you don't use the non-standard battery. That kind of thing. What's an ex-Red fanboy? Well, ex-Red fanboys are people who said, I'm done. I can't deal with it anymore. In other words, they don't trust what's happening. What's his name? Is it loses it? Justin Phillips, YouTube guy, Dog Times Media, good guy. He had a good video out there. Basically, is this the end of Red, or what have you? And everybody's really good at capitalizing on this. And let me finish his statement, and then I'll go back to where I was going. Where was I going with him? And he, I don't remember what I was going to say. Too many tangents went on. But his video was pretty good. He was talking about all the things, and there are people out there that just, they can't hack it anymore. They don't trust where it's going, and because they can't hear anything or what have you, and they're giving up. Okay. Then you got Blackmagic Pixis, which is a nice value. It is a repackaged same old. I mean, it's a little bit different, and it's at a good price. It's also not shipping. It keeps slipping a little bit, and stuff happens. Believe me, I get it. Blackmagic is pushing as fast as they can get it out there. There will be people that move all the time. There will be people that move to Komodo X specifically because of this, that were Sony or Canon or Nikon. Oddly enough, it can happen. People are like, "Oh, I want to graduate." Man, I've already forgotten where I was going to go. Oh, yeah. So, like what I said at the beginning, I've known about this for many, many weeks. I could have had a video ready to go. I could have. And believe me, it would have done really well. I would have gotten tens of thousands of views on it. It would have been the latest breaking, because here's the first that you ever hear of it, and it's out there, and there's a video, and it would catch on. I didn't want to be that guy. I don't want to be just that guy out there. And so I didn't make a video on it. And I saw Brandon Washington made his video on it, and Brandon Washington's video did really well, like 25,000 views in no time. And I mean, it could have been me. I could have been a contender. And you know, Brandon's a good dude, and he's smarter than I am, or maybe I just don't want to be branded as just the red guy, because I am a red guy, and I'm probably always going to be a red guy. If red closed up tomorrow and Nikon says we're done with that, I'm still going to be a red guy. My cameras are still going to work, and I'm still going to shoot on them because they still do what they need to do. I saw several other videos pop out on it. And each time I'm like, it's not, I should have done it. Maybe I shouldn't have. And then I see like the views are really small, and the views take off. Like Tyler Edwards just did one, and I saw it at first. I was like, oh, it's not doing that well. And then it took off. I could have done it, but I didn't. But here I am live talking to you, interacting, hopefully, to get the information that I know out there, and hopefully answer some questions along the way. Hey, Lars, if you're still out there, you could say they managed to break through in the cinema market. Yes, I could have. C400 is a chunky boy. It is. It'll be interesting to see what the C70 replacement will offer, and how they add a spanner to the ChoiceWorks. And a spanner is a wrench. What I understand is we're getting a C400 sensor in a new body that'll be crippled for a cheaper price. Keep it city. Oh, it's probably more of that, isn't it? Let's keep it city out here. Thank you, Scott. You just convinced me to make the purchase. It's going to be for my Raptor X. Ooh. I had the red E&D, and it doesn't fit all the way. Well, so keep in mind, you can run into the exact same issue with that. The interesting thing is, with the PL mount, I've talked to several DPs, Phil and several others, where like some of the lenses, like the Nisis, do not fit in our mounts. But there's another guy out there who says and shows a video of his working on his mount. So it's possible that the latest design has a little bit more room, and that's kind of nice. If you're buying a Raptor X, then yeah, rock on, dude. You're going to be in a world of happiness. I'd choose the Red Raven over the C400. I don't know if that's fair. That's a funny one there. Red Raven was one of those that they just had no idea how popular it was going to be and had to raise the price. An ex-Red fanboy is the guy who lusts over a Red for years and then realizes they don't understand the design and editing, and it becomes salty. Then they buy an FX30 and now bag on Red. Now, so that is, I believe I would call that a closet fanboy. And it's going to be that it hurts kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, they exist. Everything exists. I mean, the human nature is you buy something, and the first thing you want, no matter who you are, you're always going to want validation, which means you're going to tell people about it. You're going to show it off, and you're going to want people to go, yeah, you did the right thing. And the moment somebody goes, I would have bought the FX3, and then you'll go, you know, it's psychological. It's like psychology. It's psychology. It's just like buying a car. They want you to test drive. They want you to test drive. Just like if you buy a car at the end of the day, your financing and all that may not be taken care of yet, but they're going to let you take the car home. They trust you. But what they really want is for you to go get validation, because you're going to pull up into your driveway. You're going to be like, hey, Bob, how's it going? Meep, meep. You see my new car? Yeah, I just picked her up. It's awesome. And Bob's going to be like, good job. And you get that validation and you feel good. You come back the next day and you buy the car. If you don't get the validation, maybe you back out. It happens. So, yeah, I hear you. Keep it city. It's really the only thing I don't like about the END. I keep hoping they come out with more modules for greater ND or for mist type filters. An electronic mist would be interesting. I'm not sure how they would do it, but I'm sure it's possible. I also like the Rotopolas that are on the front of like the Bright Tangerine Misfit Kick 2 matte box. Review coming very shortly. You can now buy from Breakthrough a drop-in variable ND that goes in the front. That's kind of slick. I'm rocking a matte box anyway, so if I could drop in the variable ND in the front, then it doesn't matter what I have clearance in the back too. I'm a bigger fan EF than I am of RF. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you, King. I would be a much bigger fan of RF if they opened it up. But they're not going to near as fast as any of us want. Because, yeah. Ruben says, King, I was considering the DSMC2, but I'm afraid they use proprietary media and will become difficult to find. Yes, that is my big thing that I tell people. I think the parts won't be a problem. I think the media will be the thing that kind of slowly vanishes. It'll take a long time, but it's going to happen. King is here. Cognition V-Raptor X ruined the Komodo X for me. I just can't get excited about it. I don't know. If you don't need 8K, if you don't need VistaVision, I can get excited all day long about it. If Komodo wasn't the de facto crash cam before, picking up a used one for 2K, no kidding. If the used market, because I saw the lowest price, I don't think I ever confirmed it or the money was wrong, was like $3,700 or $3,800 that I saw somebody said that they bought one for. I know several people that bought some in the very low 4,000s. Now, that could be $2,700 and $3,200. And why wouldn't you buy one for a crash cam for that? That's silly. Cognition, what is an ASIC? An ASIC is a processor that is designed specifically for the functions it is asked to do. If you think about a computer, a Mac or a PC, the processor that's in there is actually a generic processor designed for an operating system to interact in a very compatible same way and have it do the things that it needs. You have the x86 Intel, then you have the ARM, which is literally everything else on the market and almost everything on the market now. An ASIC is when you go in and you say, okay, I don't need all this other operating system compatibility stuff. What I need it to do is I need to give it 5 numbers, and I want it to add those up and divide it by 2 rapidly. That's all I need to do. So you design a circuit that does that. Then you say, okay, I want to take these 48 pixels, and I want you to take them down and consume the space of 6. And that's using this algorithm and this thing, so you design a circuit that does that. So an ASIC is a processor that has a bunch of special designed circuits in it to be the most efficient possible at doing that task. And so what you end up with is, say, a RED that needs to do data compression, it needs to do file handling, it needs to do a small operating system, it needs to do a bunch of different things. The ASIC will do that in the most efficient way. Going back to the old DSMC 1s and 2s, they had 5 ASICs in there that were required to use them, or use. Then they went to 3. And now I think there's only 2 in these. So it's quite wild. But it's an ASIC, if you see like the Exmor 7 and the whatever the other brands are, the Digic X, that's Canon, right? That's what's in their cameras. It's an ASIC. It's just a custom built processor specifically for the things. In a lot of cases, its most duty would be compression and or manipulating the video data to put it. We're having trouble streaming to your destination. This can occur if the key is incorrect. No, you're not. You were streaming just fine. Don't be like that. Let's see if I can click live. Yeah, it's working fine. Don't be like that. Okay. Scott Warren says, smiley face. Scott, you're a man after me. I still type in the colon and the parentheses. Even though there's a silly, every time I do it and it doesn't auto-convert it, I'm like, are you trying to make me look old, YouTube? Go Komodo Pro XZ. Okay, Ruben. Okay, I don't care about the autofocus internal ND full frame sensor. Well, I mean, those are reasons to look at the C400. They are. There goes my nose. Itchy Scott. Those are absolutely reasons you should consider. Who's the overweight ostrich? That just cracked me up. That's a funny Instagram name. I mean, it's a reasonable thing. Yeah. Let's see here. DM Color says, happy Friday. Red price reductions, new lenses from Blazar, Laowa, Sigma, and more. What a week. Yes. Laowa is on their game. They are popping out some cool stuff. Sigma has always been on their game, and they want to do so much more, and Canon and Nikon won't let them do it yet, and they need to, because Sigma deserves to be out there. Blazar, definitely some interesting stuff. Had lots of conversations about Blazar in the last few days, especially after they released their B set, and Cam, of course, has the set in OD green, which I will be reviewing the Blazars, but it's going to be October. They were going to send me a set, but I have too much to do between now and into September, when I have my 2-week job. So I've got to focus on that stuff. So I didn't want to try to squeeze in a Blazar review in there, because I've got some other really fine lenses to show off. But we'll be doing the Blazars after I get back. Ruby, the Komodo is a better image. Komodo is a good image. But Komodo X to me, even though it's only like about a stop better in dynamic range, the image itself to me looks much better than Komodo. I wouldn't say it's, 80% better. I would say it's like 20-25% better overall to me. It's the one that really just kind of just sealed the deal for old Dragon X to go. Better anamorphic support, and I don't want to not shoot in RAW. That's why I want those cameras. Yeah, I hear you. Now that I'm writing everything, the KX seems like the better choice. India's easy fix. You just have to shoot 6K and get the extra hard drives. I mean, the funny thing is, Rumen, like I spoke about this, I don't know, a month ago. When I converted over to shooting all on red for everything here, when I sold all my Sonys so that I could buy my Komodo X, and I basically committed at that point that I was going to be shooting on reds. My file sizes, it only doubled. And when you're talking about doubling, it's not the end of the world. We're talking about going from 20 gig to 40 gig or 40 gig to 80, somewhere in that. I think the largest ones are the lens tests, like the Cooks and the Athenas, because I'm shooting so much other footage and test charts, and I'm shooting those at the highest quality that I can, the highest resolution, just to prove what the lens can and can't do. Those take up a lot more, and those are 400-ish gig. But, I mean, y'all know me. My videos are not short, even though they're mostly scripted and they're edited down. They're not short. A 6-minute video for me means that it was a quick speech. 27-minute video, yeah, that's typical me. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Because my original intention was, if it became really bad, I was just going to process everything and make 4K H.265 files out of everything and then delete the originals. But I am kind of like a hoarder, data hoarder, and getting rid of those originals is tough for me. How's the low light performance of the Komodo X? It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. I have shot it 3200 ISO. I've shot it at 4000. Both of those, a little bit of noise reduction. Pretty impressed with it. Super 35 sensor. I imagine it's not that strong in that department. C400 supposedly is clean. There was some interesting, forget what I read. There were some interesting things about it, but I mean, 12,800, the Komodo X is not that camera. The V-Raptor is. The V-Raptor VistaVision, yeah, you could shoot it at 12.8 and put some noise reduction and be okay. It's not great, but it'll shock the pee-waddle out of you. C400 would probably handle better in low light. The FX6 would be also a really good choice. Patrick O. Text, Brandon today said that since the Komodo gives you more color information, even that it's noisy is still better image if you do some of the Canon. So that was a question that a friend had asked me. Which was better? Shooting at a clean image at, say, 800 ISO, and it's clean but dark, underexposed, or shooting at 3200 ISO. This was not a red question, this was a Sony question. Shooting at 3200, it's noisy, but it's exposed better. Which was better? My answer was, and I'll be interested to hear Phil, if he has a thought on this, was if you shoot at the 3200, you still have all the ability to shift those colors in post and not hit the limits. And you'll have to denoise. In like 800, to brighten it up, you're pushing all the colors is what you're doing. You're pushing everything for luminance. And so you're introducing the same noise, but you're losing the ability to push, say, red further. And so, yeah, it's, more color information is better, and it gives you a little more room to stretch. I mean, you can still blow it out. You can still burn it up. Good on you. What did I hit? What is that? What is that? Oh, okay. Spreader. Good on you, Scott, for not making a video about the price cuts. Massive props, massive respect. I I love sharing that stuff, but I don't want to be the reaction guy. I mean, I'd rather tell you about it. And if y'all want to pay attention in the live streams and listen to the little things that I throw in there that are like weird things, and I kind of go like this, pay attention. There's some things I just can't do that on. I wish I could do one. There's not one. I can't do it. Patrick Sutherland did a really good job with the Pixis video. Yeah, he did. They need to put their hands in more cameras, or cameras in more hands like that. This is true. In fairness, not calling him out negatively, but it needs to be said, he was paid to do that. So you will get an affection when you're paid to do something. It's just life. It's why I don't take money to make a review. And it's something I talked with my friends about, and we've talked about it here, is there are some that will say, okay, I'm going to review your product. I need $5,000 not to review your product, but to shoot this thing that I have, this film that I want to do, and I will use that money to do that, and I'll use your lenses, and then I'll give a fair review on top of it. And that's fine. I have a hard time doing that myself. But I know people that do it and are doing it honorably, so I'm not saying it's a negative thing. I just don't like the perception. And so I think it needs to be said that he was paid for it. And, maybe I have that perception. That being said, it looked great. I mean, it looks fantastic. And let's be honest. You can make an absolutely beautiful, beautiful look with a 10-stop or a 9-stop camera. It's been done many times before. It's just using what you have and, making it happen. Jeff seems to be pretty ticked about it. No word if the Sigma RF will work. So, yeah, and Jeff is a friend. And it's a tough question because it puts people in a binder and it puts manufacturers in a binder. Is there an expectation that that Red needs to support every lens that comes out from now until eternity? Or do they just stop? They haven't put out any firmware for Komodo because Komodo is basically full. I think they could put out a little more. I don't know if they will or not. It's just, we just have to wait and see. Hey, look at that. We got a second puppy in the shot. Let me just move that over. There we go. We got double pups. And that's Oakley. I won't say his name too loud because he'll just come over here. And do you think image quality is that much better on Komodo X versus the Blackmagic Pixis? Yeah, it is considerably. Komodo X has like three plus stops more dynamic range than Pixis does. That's not insignificant. But again, if you control your lighting, if you can control into the 13 stops that the Pixis has, you're not going to know. Yeah. It's different. It's 13 versus 16 and a half. It's significant. I'm not that guy. I made a video. I want the view. I saw yours, Ruben, actually. I did. And I was like, okay, is he going to get the views? Is he going to get the views? And yours were going really slowly, but your channel is fresh and new, so we'll see. I was looking at the camera, if it's actually good for wedding films. Yeah, I mean, it's something to consider. You're making that consideration for sure. The cameras are great. For me, it's like an artist who just uses a pencil. Some are more one. No. Some are more one way versus another way. It's just already broken. It's crazy how basic the tools are and how little people understand the craft. It's true. I'm a big advocate. I do intend on getting back to it, but teaching the lighting, because the lighting makes everything better. It really, why is this Man, I need to move that tree over. I love the little swirly. Yeah, lighting is everything. Jacob Mobley, that's also the YouTuber. Wait, I believe Carlos made a video too. How'd your video do, Carlos? Let's see. I want to see them. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, and it was kind of funny to see Josh up in Alaska. I was like, what? Man, I wish I could remember my Justin Phillip comment that I was going to make. Also, it's really hilarious that Jared Polin, when he does the loser, he does it wrong. He uses his left hand, which makes the L backwards. It's even worse. It's double down on the loser. So Tyler's is at 4.4K, which is pretty good. Let's see where yours is at, Rumen. Yours is a little further back. Carlos's is at 2.7K. Quite nice, but not what you were hoping for, I'm sure. You probably looked at Brandon's and thought, I definitely need to get on that. Rumen's, where is yours? Rumen. There's Brandon's 29,000. Yours was after his. Where'd it go? Rumen. Where is it? Oh, there it is. 123. So yeah, yours is falling behind just because your exposure is not there. Now, what was funny? So I had a guy comment to me about my thumbnails and said, you got to do this, this, and this, and your thumbnails will really perform. And so I decided on one of my last videos. It was the Module 8 videos. I decided to test those. So I did the 3 different, man, my nose is itching because I just trimmed them. I tried 3 different thumbnails. One of them was the original way. One of them was the way that he told me to do it. And the other one was kind of a hybrid. My thumbnail actually won out, but it was like within 2 points. It was not much. It was kind of funny. Michael Malo arrived late. Oops. You're never late, Michael, because I'm never a short live stream. Exactly what I'm talking about. My wife said if we buy the red now, it means we will make $3,000. It's a way to look at it. But I mean, if your wife says buy it, then, buy it. I mean, really, cameras, if they're a business, you need to figure out how you're going to pay for them. And if you can get your money back faster, C400, maybe you make more money. But if you can't get the C400 for 6 months, how much money can you make on the Komodo X between now and then? It's a business decision. I guess the same applies to the Blackmagic 6K full frames. Since it gives more color information, in spite of being noisy, it still gives you better image if you do some noise reduction in post. Compared to what, though, Fairless Syntax? It gives you a lot of color information, but it doesn't give you necessarily more color information, because it's baked in bare. So there are missing pieces of information in the puzzle there. The Same King. Sounds like a book for a child book. It's The Same King. The 6K full frame cleans really, really well. Personal experience. If I don't buy the red, I will probably go for the Blackmagic. I wonder how the Blackmagic will do as a wedding camera. I think the struggles you would have with the Blackmagic would be similar to the struggles you would have on a Komodo X. Blackmagic does boot a lot faster, doesn't it? I haven't tried one of the new ones. How fast do they boot? You're at about 30 something seconds, 35 seconds on a Komodo X right now. Komodo X went for 6K on MPB yesterday, had a scuff. I'm sure we'll see them 4 to 5. Wow, depending on the condition. I mean, it is nuts. That is quite nuts. Michael Malo! Hey, Scott, do you think Nikon's next move might be trying to bring R3D RAW to something like the Z8, Z9 as a gateway to higher? That would be my play, Michael. It's what I've said from day one, based upon what Jared had said, plus that their engineers were sitting down and going, hee. To me, the right decision is to bring Red RAW into the Z series. But Nikon is a bigger company, and in RAW to them is going to feel like, you know, it's worthwhile as a branding thing. I would say, why not both? Let people choose what they want. I don't know of any physical limitation that could prevent that from happening. I want to be very careful. Nikon's getting started. Let me say it that way. It's all I can say. I cannot say it's a pretty stiff NDA. Yeah. Game Machina. I welcome it. If people buy for resale value, then you're in the wrong game. Yeah, that's true. Maybe the BDSM-C4 will have better resale value as Nikon can produce more parts. Possibly. It all just depends. It's funny, you know, Red has always been the pusher of the envelope in the industry. And because of that, it loses respect. Oh, I think that was what I was going for in Justin Phillips' comment. He was saying that Red has lost its meaning in the industry. And my comment was a little bit different take on that. I want to read my phrasing properly. Because yes, okay, that's where it is. Yeah, the name Red may not feel the same as it did a year ago, but the performance and everything Red was is exactly the same. None of that changed. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Any word on when the Aputure Infinimat is coming out? I have heard from people testing them. The Aputure has stepped back to make some pretty significant... So there was a lot of improvements that they could make in there. And Aputure, being the company that they are, is not going to intentionally put out a bad product. I say intentionally because, you know, sometimes just crap happens. But they're listening, and you know they're in a different space now. They have entered into the absolute pro area, which means you need to pay attention to what big people are saying and weigh it and put it in there if it makes sense. I mean, I hear you though. Yo, Scott, I use the Kessler rails and City Motion, on a shoot at Mullins Automotive Museum. Very happy with the result. Awesome, dude. You should start posting some stuff. Tag Kessler in that stuff. He loves seeing that stuff. Trust me, they love it. And get a little creative, get a little funky with that that Kessler stuff. It's amazing what it can do. You can do some fun stuff with it. Okay. Let's see. Do you shoot stuff with any movement? Global shutter is a game changer compared to Blackmagic rolling shutter. Oh, to Ruben. Yeah, that is the truth. And honestly, where I would say, Ruben, that you would notice the Komodo X being something way better is flash photography. Because there's nothing more irritating when you have a rolling shutter, when flash bulbs are popping off left and right, and you get the diagonal line, you get the rolling shutter flash, you get the weirdness. That's kind of a little weird. And with global shutter, it doesn't happen. It's just on or off. It's wild. Cousin of the Peterson Automotive Museum. Nice. I hope y'all get your pizza today. Mine is great so far. I don't know what I'm having for dinner. It's not my night. We'll see. I have a couple. Oh, nice from Peterson. Nice. Beautiful museum collection. Yes, the vault. Interesting that Blazar made a Super 35-35 and nothing else for. Oh, I made a Super 35-35 and nothing else for Super 35. Also, the 45-50 is an interesting choice. Everything that I've heard is that the 50 is like a fixed 45 without it being a replacement for the 45. The 45 is somewhat soft. The 100 is soft. The 50 is not soft. But also, the part of the Blazar Remus set that most people object to, and it's something that I found visually disturbing to my eyes, but other people just flat out love it, is the mumping that's happening on it. The mumps on the edge where you get these humps of distortion that occur. If you put the Remus on a Super 35, you're not likely to experience the mump because it'll just be just out of the image circle. So it's an interesting point that maybe they feel like they don't need to. I appreciate the talk about not worrying about storage. Yeah. Let's see, 3200 on an OG Komodo would look very sandy windstorm. Huh? Yeah, and I've shot it 3200 on the OG way back 4 years ago on that one right there, and I used it. But you definitely have to noise reduce. It was I would shoot it about 2000 clean. Oh yeah, good news for R5C owners with the new LP E6P battery. I have to echo Brandon Washington on the whole battery thing. It is really irritating that we're constantly having to buy new batteries. I don't like that. I don't like when they create these ecosystems and force you into them. Like Canon's like, oh, we want to make our money off our batteries. We want to make it off this. You're talking about 2 AA's. You're talking about high quality lithium ion AA's, but that's what you're talking about when it comes to those LP E6 Mark 27 batteries. Yeah, I don't like that. And they raised the price. A croissant puppy. He's a pretty good pup. He was a little his poor previous owners. My daughter adopted them. His previous owners were got to be jackasses, just the worst possible way, because he had trust issues. He had fear. He's very timid, but now that he has such a loving home, and he gets loving puppy grandparents, he's absolutely a wonderful dog. He's hilarious, and he is. Oh my God, he's so fast. He is so fast. Rex is like, bro, just go on. Hey, Gerald. Hey, Scott. I know you made these videos a while ago, but I appreciate your core battery video and your Athena Primes review. Well, thank you, Gerald. Or Jarrell. I appreciate that. Hopefully you didn't disappear when you said this, but yeah, the core batteries, love the core Nano X's. I mean, I love the Nanos before. They were amazing, but the Nano X's, a whole nother level. And that's all I'm running now. It's awesome. I've got my eye on a Komodo. I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. And I'm telling you, I don't think you'll be unhappy with it. I don't think you will. I mean, there will be some things you'll be, oh, I wish it did this. I don't think you'll be unhappy. Just knowing by what little I've learned of you over these past couple of years and interacted, I think you'd kind of dig it. I'm interested to see. Oakley, because no, not at all. I didn't name him. That's my daughter named him. I don't know why, because he had another name and it was dumb. They didn't like it. But he's speaking. Let's see. He's always got his ear to the, and we have like the perimeter sensors on the front pasture and all that, so we can know when people are coming. Ooh, OPSEC. He's learned the tones, and so he's like, they're home. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's such a shame one hasn't made a parody of all the reactions to red cuts. Such drama, much diversity. The potential. Jarrell, but that new Canon camera's coming. Well, I mean, don't they need to release the C400 into market before they can release the other? Yeah. Elysium, happy Friday. It's been a hot second. It's been so long. There's two pups now. Yeah, this is a grand puppy, so to speak. It's my daughter's and son-in-law's. So we babysit him during the day. Kashalimbu? Is it Kashalimbu? Kashilimbu? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm happy that everyone can afford a red camera. I mean, it's true. When Komodo first came out, I mean, it was a solid entry point for people to red, and now it's cheaper. And now the Komodo X, which is phenomenal, is really cheap. Ruben says, actually, the main reason I'm looking at this kind of camera is because I want to start doing some DP work as well. Better transition in the future. I would say, Ruben, the best thing about the red in that situation is being able to use the dynamic range in there. One of the things that I love most is, well, I've said it many times, skies. I love skies. I love cloudy skies. I love seeing the detail in the skies. And I love seeing the sky through a window when someone is in a room inside. And you can do that if you have just enough dynamic range. And that's where it comes in handy. Jarrell says, thankfully, of the price, no quick decisions will be made, but I'm tempted. Oh, come on, Jarrell. I think we can push you. Jarrell, Komodo, Jarrell, JK. See, J comes K. So it's a natural fit. JK. Yeah. It's JKX. I mean, it's kind of a cool name, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, JKX. In 3D RAW. That doesn't work. R3D is, the 3 is an E backwards. It's red. I hope they do the red RAW or both. I hope they don't do the in RAW, but it's not up to me. The price. That price is very, very tempting indeed. Ruben says the Black Magic, I think, will do pretty well on weddings. It's a great companion between price and quality. The pockets boot up like a normal highway. Okay, that's good, because the last one I had shot with was the 6K, the original one. But I will be doing a review on another one here really shortly. Fearless Index. Oh, I was waiting. I was checking to see if you had more paragraphs. Imates, City D. No. Sorry, not taking City D's dynamic range test. Yeah. So what you want to do there is, here's what you need to do, Fearless Index. You need to go out to Phil Holland's website, phfx.net or com, whatever it is. I have it right here. Let's see. Banners. Where's it at? Where's it at? Right here. Ooh. Oh, wait. Yeah, you get $75 off. I bet you that still works. Balcom 75 for film color. But phfx.com. Go to Phil Holland's website. And I want you to... Where's it back? Where's this? Okay. I want you to go to Phil's website, and I want you to download his V-Raptor X dynamic range testing. It's like a 32-page technical book. I'm just getting some more wine. And then I want you to see how many stops he got as an actual sensor scientist, someone who's got all the training, the years of experience. And I want you to see how many stops of dynamic range he showed versus how many City D showed. And then you're going to see a difference. Also, you need to keep in mind that every camera puts noise reduction on their video, on their recorded files. Red does not have any noise reduction. They have the magenta noise reduction, but you can turn that off in post. That's all it does. It just gets rid of that chroma noise that happens. But you can turn that off if you want to see what it is. So going in and telling it, well, we gotta take off, the signal to noise ratio here because it's noisy. It's noisy because it has no noise reduction. The others put on noise reduction. You can't control it. When you turn off a Sony's noise reduction, you're not turning off all the noise reduction. You're turning off an amount of noise reduction, but they're never going to let you see the pure sensor data. And what you're going to find is, I believe Phil tested 18.1 stops of dynamic range, where City D was way lower, because they want to throw away those 2 stops of calculated noise reduction, saying that those don't have any information, but they do. So using that methodology and testing a red, you can't compare. You just can't. It doesn't work because you're not comparing apples and apples. You're comparing a compressed, manipulated image versus a non-manipulated image that's with no noise. Did I say compressed? A bit a noise reductioned image. Kashilimbu says red doesn't have the same reputation as it used to. It's true in that Gene, a friend of mine, Gene, he said it best. Red was punk rock. When they entered the market, they were punk rock. They didn't give a flip about anything and everything, and they did what they wanted to do. The punk rock days are over. mostly because they're now part of a publicly traded company, so they can't be that. But, but, they're still going to be. They're just not going to tell you about it. That's the only difference. They're still going to be pushing the envelope because Nikon bought them for so much more. Everybody's like, oh, they just bought them for the patent. Okay, then why is red still in existence? Why are they designing new potential reds? Why is all this happening? Well, because red was doing what Nikon didn't have the flexibility of doing. The punk rockers, they're still about the music. But right now, the punk rock band is under a big label. So it doesn't have the same reputation, but it also didn't always have a great reputation because they didn't play by the rules. They did what they wanted to do. DM colorist, oh, signal to noise ratio 2, popcorn time. Yeah, I kind of went off on that. Honestly, the best thing about Phil's 32, I don't know how long it is, I have it. The best thing about it is he didn't just do the tests and give you the results. He explained every single step. He explained every part of the test and why, and showed you the differences if you didn't. And that's always been the red thing, is a red is designed to give you, the end user, the post house, the complete control over that image as much as possible. Whereas all the others, they can give you a lot of control, but they're not giving you all the control. What am I hearing? Oh, he's licking. That was a wasp. I don't think the SNR is the only way you can look at the dynamic range of a camera. I personally see it most as how smooth the transition from dark to light skin, for example. Yeah, there's a lot here. There's a ton to... I honestly, if you're bored, download Phil's PDF and read it. If you're not bored, just download his PDF and read it, because it's enlightening in that the dynamic range of a red changes in the ISO that you're shooting in. And we know ISO doesn't have an effect on the same kind of things that has an effect on other cameras. It shifts middle gray around, but it also moves where the dynamic range is and where that perceivable, calculable, usable dynamic range comes into play. He also did it with the Komodo, or the V-Raptor X and the extended highlights, showing, and I think, I don't remember the number, 20 point something stops that he got of dynamic range. Yeah, the flash thing is really cool on global shot. Honestly, to me, it's about lightning. I freaking love shooting lightning on a global shutter sensor. And I can't wait to get a purchase of a V-Raptor X, because that's going to be cool. Getting super slow-mo lightning on it. Yeah. Hey, Jeff Hagan, we were just talking about you. And Jarrell's still here. Well, I appreciate you hanging out. Did you order that Komodo X yet? If you want to order that Komodo X, you can use my affiliate link for B&H. Quit licking. Hey, quit licking. It's annoying. Just sit. He ain't sitting. He doesn't listen. He's going to come over and go, hey, how's it going? Lay down. Hi, Okie. Hey, look, there's his male parts. He's such a show-off. Okay, go lay down. Go lay down. Not over there. Over here. You're on camera. Yeah, there you go. Go over here. Over here. Lay down. Good boy. He's like, I'm going to block the camera. Rex is not getting any camera time. Do the deed. You won't regret it. Peer pressure. Oh, he's doing it. So fine. I'm just going to give it back to Rex. We'll just open this up. He's like, hey, you're gonna give more camera time to Rex? Well, just like everyone else says, do your research, rent if you can, get what works for you, and get the job done efficiently. I mean, Jarrell, doesn't Brandon have a KX? Surely he would let you borrow it. If he won't let you borrow it for a weekend to, go have some fun with it, you talk to me. I'll send him a text that he won't reply to. Yeah, I mean, seriously, try it in everything you think you would hate it doing, and I think you'll be shocked. But do your own research, make your own decision, and don't look back when you do. The C70 is a good buy in 2024, especially used. He likes his C70. Looking at as a B cam that has autofocus and doesn't need to be rigged, and 4K is plenty. Yep. Crazy to think the Komodo X is the same price I got the ST. I know. It is crazy, but it's crazy awesome. I have two Komodos and still want a KX. I mean, I'd love to have a Raptor X, but that's above the jobs I do. Honestly, Tyler, if you have two Komodos, I think you should consider, and only consider, and I'm sure you have already, don't just do it because I say so. Consider selling one and picking up a KX. It's game changing. It's so I love Komodo. I mean, ever since I got Komodo, I was like, this is so freaking cool how compact a Red is now. And here we are getting 6K. When I got Komodo X, it was like, it was awesome. It was just awesome. And the funny thing about Komodo X, it was the camera I didn't know about. Jared did not leak one thing to me about it. Not one. Ruben, I love my C70. It's a great B cam. And the C70 has a nice dynamic range, about 15, 16 stops. So it will be really, really, really close to Komodo X. But I would be interested, Jarrell, especially if you can borrow that C7 or the KX. Put the Komodo X on soft, extra soft highlights, roll off, and shoot the exact same scene of you inside with clouds through the window and expose for inside, and see which one can pull those clouds the best. Because I got to tell you, so far, every Canon that I've ever put in that situation, and Carlos is tired of me commenting back and forth and asking questions about it, I can't get those clouds to recover near as well as I can with a Red. Now, Komodo, I would imagine, would do very similar to the C70. But Komodo X, it's just a titch above, and it's enough. Oh, I would love the DR, to be honest. On weddings, I am not bringing lights and the type of shoot I want to do. Just need the best DR as possible. Wouldn't mind Raptor X, but the price is too steep. I hear you. I mean, with weddings, the biggest problem that I've always had, other than hitting record, is how dark it can be. It's like clockwork when they go to do, hey, let's throw the bouquet, but we're going to throw the bouquet in the dark corner. You need all the low light you can get. But a good DJ will bring up the lights to allow that to be done. Ollie says, I can see NRAW staying, and R3D is a possible paid upgrade, and only 24p. I don't think they would do that. You look at Nikon, they don't really cripple that much. Like the Z8, Z9, everything is an option. Like everything. If they can physically do it, they do it. The Z6, Mark III, I guess it has a little bit of cripple in it, but not much. It's definitely not like, hey, if you don't buy this battery, you can only shoot in 30p. How is that even a thing? But I will tell you this, Ollie. If R3D was a $500 paid upgrade for Z8, Z9, Z6, ZF, I'd pay it. I'd pay it in a heartbeat. Absolutely, I would. yeah, we'll see. Jarrell, get the KX. Don't think about it. And then Ruben's on the other side going, I don't know if I want that. I like the guys at Cine D. They're my friends. And I have said things about, I don't like the way that they do their dynamic range testing. If you just take the reds and look at the different values and understand that they did not test everything properly on those compared to how you would test everything properly on everything else, then you're going to be fine looking at that. They're a useful tool. They're good people. Don't get me wrong. But they don't understand how to dynamic range test a red. And it's been proven by Phil. The dual gain sensors DR is great, but I don't think anything beats the, well, bro, yeah. Raptor X is, and this is what I was saying earlier when it comes to, V-Raptor has not dropped any prices. Why? Because there's nothing on the market that can do it. Nothing. Take the $17,995 Raptor Super 35 8K. There's nothing on the market that can shoot 8K 120. Name your price. Nothing can shoot it. And it only goes up from there. True. City D is like, yeah. Ollie, I agree. Would be similar to Lumix and Arilog. I was having all kinds of fun on Brandon's live stream about that. I was saying like GoPro, because GoPro is kind of a joke at this point. GoPro is going to go out and buy the Arilog. Hey, we can do Arilog now. And then it magically turns into an amazing camera again. Exakeem, I'm waiting on the next Nikon cam to drop because I'll probably grab it. What do you think the next one will be? Exo? Be interested to see what everybody thinks the next one would be. And yes, Jared, I know brands do, because Jared, are valuable for a number of people when it's dependent on scarcity. Great artists, craftsmen don't measure something that's valued by its scarcity. It's true. Are Gerald's noise reduction? So Gerald is again, and he's never tested reds. Gerald is again following the Emma test standard for measuring a standard noise reduction, dynamic range on standard cameras. There's nothing like red on the market. You can do the Alexa 35. You can shoot RAW. You can shoot RAW on the Mini. There's still a little bit of stuff going on there, though. It's interesting. And they do quite well. The Alexa 35 does quite well on it. Jeff says, you would think the noise reduction stuff about it not going away on the Sony cameras is still true. When filming in RAW on cameras, it's still true. I can tell you for a fact that you are not getting straight RAW data. You're getting slightly processed on the Sony, a little more processed on the Alexa 35. It's rather interesting. There's some temporal effects that happen on the Alexa 35 in the shadows. I mean, we shot the entire feature X, which premieres tomorrow night in Canada. There might be a few tickets left, although I don't think there are. It premieres, the world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. Once I saw an interview with someone from Fuji who said every sensor out there needs to have some form of noise reduction or the image will not be usable. Except red. And the cool thing about red is everything that they do to it you can go from the pixel, provided you haven't overly compressed it. If you set a high compression, you can sacrifice some of this data. Low compression, you could take the pixel on the screen and work all the way back to exactly what that pixel received, because it's all there. Everything works back. But it sounded weird, as though, as I thought about the RAD and RE RAW, or even Cinema DNG, aren't they supposed to give us all image, date, even the noise? No, they are a file format. They only record what they're given. And it comes back to, can you take that pixel on your screen and calculate back exactly what that photo site received? And the answer is, on the others, no, not necessarily. Especially if it's in the shadows on a ARRI RAW. Or on Sony. There's some other little tweaks. It's minor. We're literally talking about not even 1% of the visual. We're talking like 0.5% or 0.2% of the visual. But it's there. And when you're pushing an image, you're pushing problems forward as well. And DM Colorist can probably attest to that. Is, well, it's the old saying in television, garbage in, garbage out. And not saying it's garbage, but it just means there's nothing better that you're going to get out than what you put in. Nothing ever gets better unless you sacrifice the data with noise reduction. I think it's more fair. He now tells you the total patch range and uses noise reduction and timeline scaling to better judge signal to noise, but it isn't all, and that's fair. And Gerald is a nice, intelligent guy who has gotten lots of training on this, so he knows what he's talking about. But he also doesn't do reds. It's not his. He doesn't do cinema cameras. He does consumer and prosumer cameras. That's his. It's his market. And it's kind of like the opposite of my market, which I don't like because I enjoy going down to the smaller stuff. I've got several cameras here that I bought specifically to test and review, and I haven't done them because it's like, well, it's been a year or it's been 6 months. I shouldn't do it. No one cares. Blah blah blah. That's on me. That's because I'm always afraid of disappointing everybody. That's on me. That's on me, player. That's on me. Still, there's no standardized independent test because you can't standardize a test. You honestly, HBO in their camera assessment series, which I never did the video on because it's too late now. What they did was they had engineers there who understood the cameras, and they put them all in the best possible way they could while maintaining certain parameters. Jacob says, thank you, Phil Holland, in advance. Yes. Nobody has CVP affiliated links for us. I know, Ruben. I literally talked about that with B&H the other day, about how I can help you wonderful, wonderful fine folks overseas, because there's a lot of you out there. And I would love, does CVP have affiliate links? I don't know if they do or not. Maybe I should totally do that. Do you have any tips for shooting in a higher frame rate for potential slow-mo playback without dropping to 4K in the OG Komodo? The 4D option seems to only put in a 24 timeline. How high? So, I mean, you have a physical hardware limitation there, Exakim. What I would tell you is you could drop to 5K and go to 48 frames a second, and then go at a 360 shutter. And that will give you a 24K timeline, or 24 frames per second timeline base that you can conform the 48 directly to the 24 and keep the sound, it be in sync, and the shutter would act as 180 degrees on 24, and then you could use 2x slow-mo at 48 at 360 shutter, but you would still get that. And that's tricky. We talk about that all the time. But it also depends on how high of a frame rate you want to go, because it's tough, because you have a physical hardware limitation on the Komodo. It is literally maxed out. Dustin Farrell has some awesome, I know. His Dustin Farrell's lightning shots are legendary. Also his F-22 shots, those were insane. Also, the most pirated lightning films ever. It was either a C70 versus an R5C versus Komodo. Interesting. Huh. I've been considering selling one of my OGs for a KX. Would make for way more sense to keep both, getting a KX and then a hybrid camera for stills, only because I need to upgrade from DSLR. Yeah, I hear you. Apparently, should have tried that before the price drop. I mean, you only lost potentially, right now you probably only lost $500. Everybody's going to say, oh, you got to knock $1,000 off. No, you got to knock off as much as it takes to sell that camera used. And right now, everybody on the used market, they're not knocking $1,000 off, but they're not happy about it. Ruben says, I want the KX. I made the decision. No just need to save the money. Okay, now just about had to save for a Blackmagic or Successful Life. We are getting it. Well, make it happen, Ruben. Make your decision, and then I want you to sleep on it. I really want you to sleep on it. And tomorrow morning, if Komodo X is exactly what you want, then I want you to make a jar, an envelope, or whatever, and put KX on it. And then I never want you to second guess that purchase, and go for that purchase the moment you can afford it. And then never look back. We are getting the KX, and don't blame my G. I am happy for a Z9 Mark II or the Z9 Cinema, whichever that will be. I kind of wonder. I feel like there's so much more that the Z8, Z9s can give. I just kind of wonder, now that they have access to Red, what can they do with what exists while they're working on what is coming? Because they will have something better. They have to. But, what do they learn? And whatever they were working on before, do they scrap that? And now we have Red, let's see what we can build now. I don't know. It's a good question. I have this conspiracy theory. Nick Woodman is tanking the GoPro stock to do a cheap buyback. I don't think so, Jeff. I think if you look at GoPro, Nick does not own that much stock. Most of that stock is owned by an investment group. And it's interesting. You go look into who owns GoPro. And it's rather interesting. And so I'm not sure. But GoPro, it can't get much lower. It can, but it really can't. We haven't forgotten about the Bluetooth tease a few months ago. Hopefully soon. I hope so too. Did it get distribution? Will we get to see it in any streaming platforms? It is, it's going to Toronto International Film Festival to, I would assume, get bought for bazillions of dollars, because Joseph deserves most of that bazillions of dollars. Most of it. I'm not going to say he deserves all of it, because there's a whole lot of other people, they're not getting any of it, but the actors, perhaps they got a percentage. I don't know if they did or not, but they all deserve their chunk of it. And I hope it's bazillions, because that would make Joseph Kahn's next feature a little easier on him. This one was tough. But eventually, my guess is eventually it will appear in the theaters, and then eventually on the streamings. I don't think it'll go straight to streaming. I think it's going to sell for a little bit more than that. But who knows? I know there's a lot of talking in the backgrounds. I think Nikon will drop a compact camera similar to the size of FX3 with Rare 3D to compete in that market. It would be interesting. I would be interested to see that. I'm going to throw a curveball here. What do you think about Fuji X-Trans sensors? I say it's more film-like than typical. Well, it's not the sensor. It is their film emulations. They're not LUTs. They're emulations. And you can make that look. However, I would tell you, Rumen, since you don't own a Red currently and you are looking at Komodo X, while you're over there downloading that 32-page massively intense test, I encourage you to look at film color. And I'll put this up here because I hope this still works. Wasn't that the deep discount? Ollie, do you remember? He gave us like this massive discount. I think it was the $75, which is a lot. But that, I encourage you not to buy that yet. Wait till you get your Komodo X. But I encourage you to look at all of the LUTs that he's done. Because, you talk about filmic. Bro's got some filmic. Let's see here. Feral Syntax KX needs the option of an affordable EVF. Any professional camera should have the option for a proper EVF. Red makes quite expensive ones. This is a Canon Infinity Edge SDI for 1169. Continue. I have not tried that one. I'm not even familiar with it. But it's true. The problem is Red is not a EVF manufacturer. They did come out with that optics upgrade for their current EVF, which is quite expensive. It almost costs as much as a Komodo. But I would be interested in hearing what people think about it. City Dailies has a great review of the Canon Infinity EDF, or EVF, and all kinds of Canon Infinity content. You can never disappoint us with an uploaded video. Appreciate that. 100% garbage comes in. A little shinier garbage comes out. You're polishing poo at some point. You are overseas. We are the original land. No, we are. We are Pangea. We are all one. We just split apart because we wanted to make hamburgers. I'm assuming that's why. And I've never seen anything like affiliate links from CVP, which is a little weird. That's a good question, though. It is a good question. I'm going to a CVP event and I'll definitely ask them, what's up with that? CVP does a really good job with their videos. I'll give them credit for being a cheater because they get the gear because they're stocking it. They get it ahead of time. They get the time to make the videos. Cheaters, but they do a really good job with their videos. You will never get that, Tyler. Actually, I wonder if you could get that. I feel like that's a change they could make. I just don't know if enough people are asking for it if they would bother. Videos from the event to come. Excellent. Ruben says, I got a free ticket to IBC, but I'm not free during the event, so I'm a little angry about it. Yeah, I was tempted to go. I have a KX and 2 OGs. Trying to sell one of my OGs. I hear you. Gregory, hello. Happy Friday. How are things over there in your world, in Greece? I hear that Greece is the word. Is that true, Gregory? Is that true? Nikon needs to probably no, they don't. The GoPro needs to just wither away. And I have a strong feeling that we're about to see a DJI action camera that's going to be rather cool. And a little bit more than a software update, which is all the latest GoPro heroes. It's just they call it the new Rocksteady or whatever it is, version 6. It's just an algorithm. It's just software. Hello, friends. Ollie, how are you? Or if I have to be realistic, DJI needs to buy them purely for the branding. I don't think DJI needs the branding. Speaking of DJI, fun story. So I ordered the RS4 Pro combo, the DJI stabilizer, the big one, for upcoming shoot. And it arrived today, and I was so excited. And I opened it up, and what's in the box is a Mavic Air 3 Creator combo with the updated controller, which I immediately go and look at my purchase to make sure I hadn't been consuming maybe just a little too much wine and purchased a drone that I don't need because I have a Mavic 3 Pro over here. And so I'm looking at this thing. I was like, okay, I bought it from Amazon. It was not like sold by Amazon. It was from Amazon. And it said I ordered the DJI RS4 Pro. Okay. So I look at the box. The box is sealed. There's no question this is a DJI. It's not been sent back and repackaged. But over the label of the UPC is a UPC label that got stuck on that says DJI RS4 Creator Combo or Combo, or RS4 Pro, whatever. And I'm like, really? So my guess is somebody who didn't know the difference was just looking at white boxes and sticking labels on and didn't realize they had picked up an Air 3. I looked at it for about a minute thinking, well, I mean, this is a $1,550 drone, and I only paid $1,100 for the Ronin. Is this something I can use? No. Is there any reason I should keep? No. So, send it back. So I sent it back. It literally, wife just left with it. It's kind of funny. But I don't have my Ronin now. Does the OG Komodo have facial tracking autofocus? It does on the app. So you use the app and it has it. And it works reasonably well on the app. Do you think they'll ever make a DSM-C3.5? I hope so. I mean, they just came out with that optical upgrade for the EVF, which to me indicates, but not necessarily, take it to the bank kind of thing. But it indicates to me that everything that was in the pipeline is still in the pipeline. Ergo, stop fearing about red disappearing. That's a good title for a video. Stop fearing red disappearing. I love it. Ruben's like, ooh, I like it. Would you recommend for corporate shoots? Peaceful moments. Peaceful moments. Peaceful moments. I don't know you. I thought maybe I knew who you were. I would tell you that I use my Komodo X in corporate shoots all the time. Most of the time, that's overkill. But like the shoot I'm doing next week, it's not overkill. It's requested, and I'll be doing Komodo X and Komodo, and I'm getting paid for it. So, I mean, it just depends. What I do find is a lot of people will ask for Sonys, and then I tell them, well, I have red Komodos, and they're like, oh, well, we're looking for Sony. I was like, I could deliver you the same thing. I said, it's going to be better quality, slightly larger file size, but you'll be able to totally fine working with it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Typically for corporate shoots, I kind of dig the FX30, FX3 are really good options for that. FX6 is really good for corporate shoots. But I have no qualms about using my Komodo X because the beautiful thing about a Komodo X, time code. Yeah. FX3, you can do time code now with a USB dongle. But, a lot of cameras in that market don't have time code. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Kind of sucks. You have to do audio time code. Ruben says, I'm referring to the arrangement of the pixel itself of the X-Trans. Oh, that's a specializable. Yeah, I mean, they do a different, it's a non-bare pattern. But I will say I have not noticed, and I've owned one of the Fuji cameras from a few years back. I thought it looked fine. It didn't scream out to me that it was better in any way other than the emulations were cool. But the emulations, they're not raw, which kind of sucks. You get JPEGs. Hamburgers come from Germany. No, they don't. We Americans made French fries and hamburgers. Did they, though? I don't think they did, Rumen. I think that's like the one thing they said was created in America. We got to look this up. Who invented the hamburger? It'll be George P. Hamburger, who actually invented, well, let's see. According to what? 1891, who created a beef patty in butter. Ooh, delicious. Aha! I have trumped you, Rumen. According to Wikipedia, it was invented by Otto Koss in 1891, who created a beef patty cooked in butter and topped with a fried something or other. But ABC News reports a man named Fletcher Davis first put a cooked, pattied ground beef on bread in Athens, Texas in the 1880s. We won! America gets the hamburger! And then somebody put cheese on it, and it's better. And then somebody put mushrooms on it, it's better. Don't forget the grilled onions, makes it better. And if you're not toasting your buns with butter, it's not even a hamburger. CVP is my first place to go for a general review, and then go to more specific stuff. I mean, it's fair. I thought the bird was the word. Bird. Bird is a word. Bird. I'm going to make videos soon with the camera YouTubers to watch, and CVP is top of my list of useful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you're going to name it. You don't have to. I've already forgotten the title. You don't have to. I don't know, but it's something about red. Use 6K241 and you can shoot 48. Yes, it's true. You can. In Greece, no clue. I got a newborn and it's crazy. That's why you haven't seen me around. Well, I mean, enjoy your newborn. That's what they're for. They're a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of cool. You're responsible for life. I mean, if that's not responsibility, I don't know what is. To be honest, from the review I saw on the KX, the autofocus is just as good, if not better, than my Fuji. I don't have any current Fuji autofocus tales, so I can't answer that. My Fuji was fine with autofocus. I didn't write home about it. Yeah, I mean, the Komodo autofocus is better than like the GH5. I'll give you that. Stop freaking red not disappearing, or stop fearing red's not disappearing. Halloween stream. Yes. I'm going to write that down. Let's see here. Video template. There we go. Stop fearing red's not disappearing. Thank you for helping me remember that. Halloween streaming. Tyler, I could power mine up and check, but you're saying it can do 48 and 4 FPS project timeline? No, it can't do that. It can do 24. Yeah, check it out. Any word on why Red did that price drop? Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, Ollie. It literally is about the C400. Also, Nikon, Red, in short, Red as a company, when they were their own company, they spend millions of dollars on research and development. They need to recoup that money. So, let's say they have Komodo X at $10,000 retail. Let's say they have $5,000 in the hardware. They have millions of dollars they need to recoup. So they say, okay, 3,000 of that's going to be recouping those R&D dollars. Nikon comes in. they're not concerned about the small amount of R&D dollars that were spent. So now the margin is back to, well, what does it cost to make? We can sell it and we can do it. So it's about competing with the C400. So that's really what it is. It is not a new Komodo Z coming out any moment. It is 18 to 22 months before anything's coming. Yep. A lot of furious helium owners are shocked at 50,000. Yeah, I remember that overnight. And that was all because of Gemini. Once upon a time, there was this Hamburg sauce. Oh, and then Ollie's going to start talking about the Alabama white sauce, which was funny. My daughter asked me about, like, what is this Alabama white sauce? I'm like, oh, with the history of the burger. We'll see. Right now, according to ABC, Fletcher Davis invented it in the 1880s in Texas, of all places, because beef. Gregory, congrats, man. Yes, indeed. That's her second newborn. Gregory's he's like 3D printing babies at home. I think the manufacturing was expanded with Nikon's resources. Better wafer, maybe higher. I don't think so, because a wafer order takes 18 months. So the soonest they could get a wafer order in would be 18 months. So I don't think that Nikon's has anything to do. I think they just said, let's not worry about recouping those dollars. Let's just let's have some fun, sell some cameras, and create a mystery. Indeed. And Gregory says, thanks, Ollie. And Ollie's back too. I mean, Gregory, you and Ollie both appear like the same time, just out of the blue. Poof. We haven't seen either one of y'all. Y'all are like space ghosts, coast to coast. And then it's like, poof. We pop in, and then we learn about hamburgers in Texas. So, I mean, my day is complete. Hopefully y'all's are. No questions on Instagram this week. It's wild. But so many people tuning in. I appreciate you all. As for CVP, ordered the DJI Focus Pro Creator Combo. CVP listed as in stock back in late July. And waited for delivery for 3 weeks. And then they reported, they couldn't. Oh, yeah. I mean, my problem right now is Amazon has the DJI Creator Combo for the Focus Pro, and then they have the other combo. So they have the combo that includes the slide handheld controller, as well as just the side one. They're the same price. And I'm like, wait, this is a mistake. No, it's Amazon. They have them both for $1,850. It's like, this one's only $950. And then I think the problem is that LiDAR sensor. Nobody has the LiDAR sensor in stock, because I was buying the RS4 Pro and I was going to buy the LiDAR sensor, stick it on top. That's all I needed. You can have the name. The wedding community doesn't care about the red camera. They might. They want Sony because they can't focus otherwise. And then a week later, DJI pulled the same bait and switch. Oh, yeah. Okay, you can have the burger. Well, thank you. I mean, Texas thanks you. I mean, Fletcher Davis, he thanks you. So what else is there out there? I don't even know what I'm having for dinner. Well, I want to find out. I need to know whether I need to be excited for it or just like, yeah. What's for dinner tonight? Tonight. Hey, look, it says I'm live today. Ooh. Let's talk about those red price reductions. Okay, try it. So technically, you can do 50 frames per second at 50 project time base. 48 is not an option for some reason. Is that so? Red Control Pro. Let's pull this up. I don't know what it's about to do to the live stream, but we're going to find out. I'm going to be jacking some things right now. Unreachable. There we go. So we're going to go into project settings. So I can do 40. That's the frame rate. Okay, I want to do project recording frame rate. Nope, I want to do time base. Now I can select up to 60 frames per second as a project time base. No, 48 is not there. You're right. Interesting. It goes 23.98, 24, 25, 29.97, 30, and then it jumps to 50. But why do you want the 48 time base? I need the Focus Pro to make a direct LiDAR bracket. Ooh, indeed. For that lens cuff, which is torque your gears. Also a great product. Look for the review. It's on my channel. I'm splitting hairs, but I do prefer the look of 48 versus 50. On a time base? Man, we are splitting hairs. I don't like that at all. Scott, you still playing around with your Z8? I am. And I can't tell you why. I am indeed. Right here, right now. Oh, yeah. It is, it's going out with me on my big nature job in a few weeks, too. It's going to get some use, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. It's going to be awesome. Awesome, indeed. Okay, it's a little weird seeing me everywhere. I don't need to see me everywhere. I do like the Z8. I think the Z8 is probably the most underrated camera out there. No, you're right, Tyler. Meanwhile, Rex is like, watch this. Yeah, really. Turd. Boop. And Oakley's over there by the door. Oh. Who is sending me a message? Oh. Didn't I, though? I thought I did. Surely I did. Or was it just the live stream we did? Huh, interesting. Woot. Let's see here. My request would be to allow us to enter a custom... Oh, so that one, I was shot down on that one. And I think that has to do with some hardware limitations. And apparently Komodo X, V-Raptor all have way more hardware processing that allows you to put in that custom frame rate. Because I love that. And you could do that on Komodo X. You can't do it on Komodo OG. But let's be fair. Komodo OG is really a 6-year-old camera. I mean, for us, it's 4+ years. But that camera, I mean, by the time it started going to production, it was a 6-year-old camera now. It's wild. It's more for not having to interpret footage for clients, just transfer from the card to hard drive and be done with it. Skateboarding is really cool at 48. Oh, I agree. And I really wish that I could instantly conform in Resolve. How did I pick this up? I swear, I went over there to pick up the Nikon Z8, and I picked that up. I'm like, I'm going to play with it. I wish I could just conform slow-mo to slow-mo. It'd be nice. That's not true. It does do that. I meant 24 to 48. It's far more... Yeah, okay. Okay, selling one of my OGs for Komodo X. Be sure to use my B&H affiliate link, please. I need the money. Also, I've spoken to a couple of people, and I have a big announcement coming. It's huge. Well, it's huge for me. I'm hoping that all of y'all agree. I'm not announcing it yet, but there will be a really large announcement coming soon, probably in the next 30 days. I think, oh, sorry, I'm getting some, oops, okay, fine. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God, jeez. I gave you a thumbs up, but I really intended to give you a heart, but it brought up stickers and maybe agreed to some terms and service, and I'm not going to do that. Yeah, please use my my B&H affiliate link. You know, if you care enough, it'd be awesome. What do you mean automatically? Yeah, I said it wrong. It does. Scott, you just texted and you said your TV dinner's ready, which is funny. So we've been making these pot pies. We now made turkey, and then now we made chicken. We forgot the one thing, and I even bought these ceramic 7-inch pot pie plates. I'd love to make a video on it. Maybe I will. For the pot pies, because it's the right size to make you completely full, and it's great for warm, when it's cold outside. And I forgot the one thing. Let's see if everybody else knows. When you get a pot pie, how do you eat that pot pie? What's the first thing that you do when you get a pot pie? Let's see what people say. I'm interested. What do you mean? Yeah, I spoke wrong. Also, the audio separation, a little annoying to import the whole timeline. I can hear you. Your wife said your TV dinner is ready. Sorry, I forgot to the wife earlier. No, but they are saying something. Let's see what we're having. Yay! We're having sugar chicken. Oh, my favorite. I love sugar chicken. Sugar chicken is Panda Express. I always say to my friends that there's no perfect camera, but there is a perfect kit. These are 3 cameras which you own, which you can do everything you would ever need. Oh, Ruby does a part 2. Cinema style camera needs to have the best image quality you can afford for your high-end stuff. Yep. Oops. Okay. You're releasing an X version of your smoked spices. Spices X. Yeah, I just put my store on pause for a moment. I need to restock. I need to remake some spices, and I've been so busy that I haven't, and so I had to put it on pause. If any of y'all are interested in ordering some Scotty's Smoky Salt and Pepper, just reach out to me. I think you can message me or email me on the store. I can reopen it or sell it to you directly. It's temporary. I'm not closing it up. I don't want to pay the exorbitant store costs if I don't have the stock, and I need to do it. Vance Burberry of ASCs put out a video today made with the Blackmagic City 12K. It actually looks like it's shot on analog film. Impressive dynamic range, too. He used the Laowa zooms, which, by being anamorphic, are less detailed and distorted than spirit. Yeah, okay. I think anamorphic is overrated. They distort in a way that sometimes feels uncomfortable to the eye. You explore the image around. This is true. In our character, somebody asked that on Brandon's live stream. What are anamorphic? Well, anamorphic is a stretch of the image, and it is a character. If your story doesn't support the character, you don't do it. You don't see love stories with you don't see love stories shot on anamorphic because it doesn't serve the character. It doesn't serve the story. What? Okay, there we go. Let's see where. Wait, who said they got what? Where's the Panda Express? Oh, okay. Wife got Panda. Let's see what the wife got then, because I had to educate her on picking up the eat the edges. I don't know, James. It's an interesting point. But that's not the one that I remember. And I only remembered it. I've literally eaten like 8 pot pies in the last several weeks. And it was the last pot pie that I remembered. And I said it to my wife, and she's like, oh, you're right. Smaller mirrorless hybrid body for all-arounder for smaller jobs with decent autofocus and IBIS. And then one for photos, right? That's where you're going? I don't put ketchup on my pot pie. That's what I. No, you don't put ketchup on anything except French fries. Sometimes on the side, never on top because it just makes them soggy. Now, when you get your hot pot pie, the first thing you do with your pot pie, turn it upside down. You turn it upside down and you pull the container off. And now you have an inverted pot pie that you can now cut up into manageable pieces and spread it out where it can cool so you're not trying to eat molten hot lava for the next 20 minutes. Because a pot pie is really about it. Oh my God, it's hot pie. I think pot pie comes from pot pie. You're trying to say hot pie, but you can't. Oh, you're going trying to get that hot air. 3, small, possible vintage style body to bring anywhere that does great photo for your daily family stuff. I look at it this way, Ruben. I look at a fantastic cinematic A-cam, a complementary basic B-cam, and a hybrid C-cam designed around the stills but can match up into, which, oddly enough, is a Komodo X, a Komodo, and a Z8, or a V-Raptor, a Komodo X, and a Z8. It's amazing how that works. Based on what you 3 camera kits. Yep. FYI, on Komodo OG, you can set custom and fractional frame rates using red control. But you can't set project frame rate. Project frame rate skips right over. My ideal cameras are the Raptor X, Z8, and the ZF. Well, I mean, it could be yours. Mine would be Raptor X, Komodo X, and Z8. Those would be my wieners. I don't, Gregory. I'm working on getting it as soon as Amazon fixes their price. Well, I've got to get my Focus Pro first. That's correct. Not project frame rate. Yeah, and I don't think you can do that on Komodo X either. But you can do 48 on Komodo X. What's up, buddy? What is it? Is it? Oh, okay. I mentioned something, so Oakley has to say hi. What's up, buddy? Hi, Oak. What's up? Oakley's right up next to you kind of dog. Hi, buddy. Hey, Preston. How's it going? Z8 times 2 and ZF for stills. I mean, Z8 is quite capable if that is your A camera, and there's literally nothing wrong with that. I mean, people were shooting on XL1s 20 years ago. Also, Preston Canick, if you haven't seen his channel, he just did a really cool short mini doc on Canadian life and taking a step back. It was really good. It was really good. You should check out Preston Canick on Instagram and YouTube as Preston Canick. I believe so. Really good storytelling. Really good. God, if you decide to give lighting courses, that will be the form. Oh, it won't be. It won't be courses. I've thrown that around for years about doing like a paid class. I just can't bring myself to do it. I feel like that's such a negative connotation, and I don't know why. Maybe people don't agree, but they will just be tutorials. I've done many lighting tutorials in the past. I just haven't done them probably in the last 2+ years. And it's something I want to get back to doing because I love lighting. Lighting is awesome. Right, Oakley? Yep. So the format will be YouTube videos. Ruben, the point of the second camera is not to be rigged and be easy to use, as well as autofocus, and the last one to be small slip-up cameras. I literally do. Yeah, I would, like as a wedding person, I would have one on sticks, one on a gimbal, and then one as a B cam, is probably what I would work towards on that for wedding. For me, I'm doing an A and a B cam, and then probably like in the corporate stuff, I would do a motion third cam. In that case, someone asked me to do a paid one-on-one session in classes today. I was taken aback by it. I mean, I have been asked if I do it, and I said no. And I said, I'll Zoom you if you want to Zoom. And we just did that. I mean, I'm probably like not doing the video on I can't believe Red just dropped the prices. I didn't do that video. I'm just leaving money at the door, and then I turn around and I'm begging for money. It's like, hey, y'all be channel members, please, because I don't do those other videos. Gotta wish you all a nice evening and a great weekend. It's 2:30 a.m. and definitely need to catch some sleep. Gregory, good to see you again. Hope you're doing well, and congrats on the little baby. Preston says Z8 is perfect price point. It reminds me of the joy I had with the HVX 200. Me too. But with the time-lapse photo function and full frame, the 5D Mark II April Fool's joke from years ago. I will say that, we were just talking with a friend about the Z9 today, but the same thing that surprised me, time-lapse on Z8, Z9 on the internal battery is shocking. They manage the power really well, and you can do like an 8-hour time-lapse on a single battery. It's mind-blowing. Love it. Love it. Yeah, Preston, I hear you, bud. I hear you. I got my Z8 over there. I'm excited about the future, too. I don't mind paid classes. I mind when a YouTuber does a tutorial with basics that everyone does just so they can sell their course. It's always like, I know, and I hate that. The problem is with that, Ruben, you have to start at the basics because you don't know who's buying. You don't know who's buying your course. They could be people who are like, I don't understand what you're doing. You're so advanced over, and so that's why I just kind of do it as YouTube videos, and then I don't ever get paid for it. Brandon says, Scott, what's up, dude? Just got done building and cinevising a full set of pristine Nikon AIS lenses. How are these things not selling more? They punch way above. I mean, those old Nikon lenses. I mean, Nikon has always been a solid lens. Always. Beautiful stuff. Probably because they don't know how to focus right. They're backwards. I mean, that was why I like the new Z mounts, because I can flip that focus. You the same joke. I guess probably because they focus the opposite way. That was literally my joke. Oh, I just pulled something laughing so hard. I don't film on a gimbal. I hate it. It's stupid. I'm not a huge gimbal fan, but there are definitely shots that pay off with a gimbal. And that's why I am moving away from... I'm about to sell my RS3 Mini, and that's why I'm buying the RS4 Pro. Plus, I'm doing some stuff with cars soon. So, Komodo X will go between handheld and monopod, C70 or Z8 on sticks. ZF will go as C when needed, and also hide frame. Yep. Auto-generated file output is the perk. Another feature I always wanted, see the time-lapse while still... if you use a follow focus Nikon as the correct direction. I mean, the other cool thing about it is, they have built in the step focusing, so you can do like macro shots really and really pull off a really nice in-depth focus. What do they call it? Focus, whatever. Yeah, they can do that. That's really cool. I dig it. Yes, but how many more people will teach us to do 3-point lighting? Give me a super advanced technique and then sell me a course with the promise that there's even better. Yeah, I hear you, Ruben. I really do. I tend to start with one light. And it's funny, This is literally 2 lights is all it is. If I turned off all the other lights, it wouldn't matter near as much. I mean, assuming that this is a practical back here. I mean, and this is practical. I mean, I've got a key and I've got a fill. And you see that right here. And if I block it, you can see what it does. And it gives just a little kiss of a lighter, a brighter, bluer light. And I dig that. Preston, let's jump on a call. Let's do, man. I got some stuff I want to share with you too. Some fun stuff. But definitely y'all check out Preston's channel. Really cool dude. Known him for years. We ate tacos in San Francisco. Well, Berkeley. But, I mean, it's a great dude. Really good, solid filmmaker. Really good storyteller. And his new series is kind of exciting. Well, the wife is home. So, you know what that means. That's right. Oakley's going to steal the camera and literally block Rex. Why are you doing that, dude? He literally heard the ding dong that the wife crossed the threshold. You are putting on some weight, dude. You know that? So, with that being said, Ruben says, for 3 years of working commercial event, I've owned 2 lights. And I was super happy. Key light, I mean, this light right here would probably be a perfect key for everyone for most purposes. Enjoy your dinner, Scott. Thank you, Michael. DM Colors, good evening, Scott. Everyone, have a fantastic evening. Please enjoy your family, your new family. Gregory, your existing family. Hug your peoples. Eat something delicious. Do something creative. Do something for yourself. And, yeah. As always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Make you so much happier. So much happier. Hoy, good to see you out there. Everyone, thanks for the stream. Ruben, bon appetit, as they say here. Bon appetit. Bonjour. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great evening.